Welcome to the Waterfowl East podcast.
How's you going?
Straight ahead, brother. We got my brother Julien Dion here with us. Myself, Matthew Wilson. In beautiful
Pigneys Point, Nova Scotia.
Pigneys Point, Nova Scotia. Wonder where they ever came up with that name.
Couldn't tell you. Probably a guy named Pigney. First settled here, I'm guessing. Or last name.
Well, when you look at this place and you look at how you have to get here, you have to think to yourself, like, what a hell of a trek.
Yeah, but they would have got here by boat.
They would have, but like, how would they have traveled over? Would they have traveled over that marsh to get inland, or would they have just everything would have went by boat?
Everything would have went by boats. There's no cars, right?
Yeah, and I mean, would they have built the road out here if it wouldn't have been for the wharf?
No,
not a chance.
No, why the hell would you move here if it wasn't for the boats going in and out? It's just a great harbor to be in because you're just right on the Atlantic, right?
Right.
So you don't have to travel inland. You don't have to go through harbors. You don't have to. You're just right on the point.
Right. And yeah, so you're closer to the fishing grounds.
Oh, way closer, yeah. And back then, trading grounds, right? Like people would have come in, and back then the fishing wasn't even way back when people would have come here. It would have been the trading, I don't know, beaver pelts. I don't know what they would have traded back then. But
would this have been a spot that they would have came to do that?
Just where they landed, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah. Here, Pamlico, all the points. Boats would have landed here.
Okay. So these places have actually been legit and been around for quite some time.
Oh, you talk to the old guys just down the road here, like the 90-year-olds. They remember the road being built.
Really?
Yeah.
And they lived out here then?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lived here their whole lives.
So it was basically like, oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Grew up here.
They're still living home?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know them.
Yeah, yeah.
Were they hunters?
They were. Everybody was hunters back then.
Yeah.
You did it survive, right?
The culture is different here. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
What do you think the population is out here on the point?
Oh, man, I don't know. Might be 50 houses here, maybe. So you're guessing even 3 per, so 150 maybe?
Yeah.
At best, because most of them are old people and there's only 1 or 2 in the house.
God, I love that.
Most of it.
That he's 90 and still living home.
Oh, yeah.
That's a dream, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, how healthy is he?
Good. Plows his driveway.
No way.
Yeah. Drives his own car.
God bless him, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Worked hard all his life.
Yeah.
Worked probably lobster fished at some point.
He lobster fished till he was like 85 or something like that.
Yeah. So he would have been back in the days when they had like wool gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine?
There's a guy when I was a kid that would fish, and he only wore wool gloves. That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about that, like their hands. By the time he was 85, like
callous.
Callous. But what about the arthritis?
Yeah. Dip his hands. The first thing he'd do when we get there is dip his hands in water with them wool gloves. First thing he'd do. Freezing cold, minus 10, whatever. Dip them in water.
What was the point of that?
Couldn't tell you. The first thing he did.
Probably should have asked him.
Yeah, well,
you never had to suffer like that.
No, I just friggin' shook my head and be like, "What are you doing, old crazy old man?" But,
why were you on the boat with him?
Oh yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah,
really?
Not the one that lived, not the guys that live here, but when I lived in Pamlico, I fished with a guy. He had wool gloves, dipped his hands in water first thing in the morning.
He didn't want to fish with the rubber gloves?
No, fish with wool gloves all his life.
I'm telling you, I think I have another pair in the truck, but I have those same gloves that you have.
Yeah.
But mine are gauntlets.
Yeah.
And they're friggin' awesome, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're like the other ones are good, but those gauntlet gloves are.
The blue gloves, you mean?
No.
Yeah.
I'm talking about these ones are black.
Yeah.
But they go past your wrist. Yeah. Lobster gloves, I guess you'd call them. I don't know what brand they are.
Yeah.
But
can't go wrong.
No. That's what I wear for gloves.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
when I'm going hunting.
Me too. You get black ones, like the same ones I wear, but you get them in black.
Yeah, that's what Tony got them for us when we were over there.
Yeah.
And I was like, geez, I didn't know. Have you seen them? I'm sure.
No, I haven't seen them, no.
Oh, shit. They don't go like up to your elbow or anything.
Yeah.
They go up. You're just to, I'd say, the middle of your forearm.
Yeah.
And they have a drawstring. They're friggin' awesome, man.
Guaranteed.
They're the cat's ass.
Can't beat them.
No. So they're super good. It seems like an East Coast thing.
Oh, guaranteed. They're $20. You rip them, you throw them overboard, and friggin' start again.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, until boys started bringing them. I mean, once we got onto them up home, I mean, you guys, people have seen us wearing these gloves, and they're like, what is it with the blue gloves?
Yeah.
Like,
you can buy all you want, like fancy Sitka gloves, whatever, right? You're paying $200. And I love my Sitka gloves. I've got a couple pair, but they get wet eventually.
They will get wet eventually.
If you put your hands in the water,
Yeah.
they're going to seep through. You can't pick up decoys with them.
Yeah.
They're made for if you're hunting geese in a dry field, fine. If you're hunting water, like sea duck hunting,
Yeah.
if you're dipping your hands in there to grab decoys, it don't work.
Yeah, they're not made for that, right?
No.
Nothing
is.
No, nothing really is. No, they're made. I mean, you can wear them and you can be out in the rain and you can be picking up decoys in the field and stuff, maybe even off the water, but you're not going to be jamming your hands down in the water. Like, these ones are 100% rubber and they're fleece lined.
Yeah.
A thin line of fleece, and holy frig. Like,
Oh, it's great.
yeah, they're nice.
It's like putting on a fresh pair of socks. When you open the bag and put a fresh gloves on,
Yeah.
it's money.
When you get to the point in your life that you appreciate a nice, fresh pair of socks,
Hey,
you're getting on good.
yeah.
People
you're
can
getting old.
people can laugh and say what they want. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, they've never had a good pair of socks.
Yeah. Obviously you take life for granted.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Man, it's great to see you, brother.
Yeah, couldn't agree anymore.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, we'll kill some ducks the next couple of days, hopefully. And if not, hey, we'll have a good time.
Well, we just ended our season at home, and our season again was extended this year, as we've been talking about a little bit. It was 107 days long this year, and I believe yours was too.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, because yours was extended.
Yeah.
And for ducks.
Yeah.
And, man, we friggin' crushed them last week. Like, we shot ducks at home like we would shoot in October.
Yeah.
I feel bad for anybody south of us. Not that we shot those ducks, but that the ducks that are there are not going to leave.
No.
They're there.
Yeah. But we lost a lot of ours on that last moon.
Yeah.
We did, 100%.
That big, what do they call that? A supermoon?
Supermoon, yeah.
And that's what caused the high floodwaters?
Yep.
Yeah. Because I saw
course tides.
high course tides, yeah.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Every 2 weeks, for the most part.
You
But
get
some of them are bigger than others, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
what do they call that?
On every full moon and every new moon, we get high course tides.
Right.
Where the tide will push over the bank onto our marshes, right?
Right.
And it floods everything. And it's good hunting, right? You just missed, but we also get new birds and lose birds. Seems like every high course tide do, because that's every moon.
Right. Yeah,
Especially on the full, right?
Right, because if it's storming or something like that, they're going to bail.
They bail.
Is it ever calm on a high course tide?
Not very often.
No, it's usually storming.
Yeah, you should get winds.
See, that's the thing. Like, you talk about hunting like where I am.
Yeah.
Like, our water on the river goes up and down because it's controlled by dams.
Yeah.
And really, hunting the duck blind as much as we did this year, I'm like, okay, I know on the weekend that the water's going to be higher for longer. We're going to have to wait for the hole that we break out of the ice.
Yeah.
Because you break that hole out and, the stuff comes back in fairly quick. Not big chunks or anything, but it fills up with slushy ice. But once they start to close the dam up and they don't need as much power and the water goes down, then we can shove that out. So we're figuring out, so to speak, like a freshwater tide.
Yeah.
For as much as we hunt water at home, like through the week, it's not as high. On the weekend, they need more power and they can't store it, so they have to run it longer open. But anywhere else in the country, like if you went to Alaska, they're battling with tides. Like I don't know.
They're not as big as they are here.
In Alaska?
No, we got the biggest tides in the world.
Yeah, the high, exactly, yes. The highest tides in the world here on the Bay of Fundy. And,
Our tides are like, what, 18 feet difference from high to, right?
Well, it's 30 feet in the Bay of Fundy.
Yeah.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Run your tape out.
Yeah.
Hold it up in the air. There's water, and then it's gone.
And then there's mud.
Yeah. So for the average hunter, even people that hunt salt water, like I don't know about Coates. I think down there in Maryland, he's like 3 to 6 feet.
Yeah. There's not much
tide.
difference.
So I mean, it's still a factor.
A little bit.
But it's not like what it is for you guys.
No.
And we don't have to deal with that.
No.
You know, so that's a whole other aspect of your hunting in itself. Like, you know, I just did that waterfowl strategies seminar, and I can talk all day about what I know.
Yeah.
But to apply that to what you do, that's all good and great, but it goes by the tides. The birds are very different on that, huh?
Oh, we don't, like, when I'm up there with you guys, I'm up there a month a year guiding with Matt. So in that month, the birds fly out in the morning, fly back to roost in the afternoon, fly back in the field, fly back to roost at night. Don't work that way here. It runs on tides. Like, even fields. If I hunt geese in fields here, I gotta wait for the tide to push up, to push the birds off the flats. Then they'll fly to the fields. So it might be like 11 o'clock in the afternoon before the geese fly. It's just the tides, right?
Yeah, and that adds a whole nother factor to your hunting.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, like, I mean, it's not normal.
No.
You know, why do they push out at that point? Well, I know at 11 o'clock that they're going to bail out because that's when the tide's going to come up and push them off. Otherwise, they're just going to sit around on the flats and eat mud and
eat bugs. Well, we don't have our architectural, agricultural land at all.
Right.
None. Like, so, yeah, they're not going to leave the mud to come eat grass.
You have fields, but they don't plant any cereal grains here.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Just hay. Right?
Yeah.
Triple mix or whatever they call it. Be a little bit of clover, a little bit of
a cattle industry here. Just a little bit.
A little tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nothing to speak of at all.
Right.
So for us, you have more chance of shooting geese on the mud flats than you do as much as fields, right? Just hard to, because their geese are getting so prone to people hunting them that they will they'll land at high water. They'll land, sit there, wait for the tide to go down, and just sit on the flats. Instead of years ago, they used to like sit in the bay and then just come in when the flats start showing. So you could go set up, put silhouettes on the flats, and wait for them to get there. But now they go in before the tide goes down and wait for the tide to go, and they'll just sit there.
Right, because they know what's coming.
Oh, they know. There's people after them.
Right, all the time here.
All the time.
So when they go out to those fields here, what are they eating?
Grass. Bugs, roots. They'll pick the grass up and eat roots.
See, it's when you were talking about the fact that they'll sit on the flats and you have to wait for the tide to come in, so it'll push them off the flats.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it at home, sometimes the problem we have is they fly out and they go to dirt fields.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's it's sort of similar. It's
Kinda.
sort of the same, the more similar beast. Now they're obviously not getting the same amount or the same stuff out of our fields that they are on your flats.
Yeah. They'll pick bugs, eelgrass. They'll eat, like, some of them don't leave the flats.
But it is sort of a similar thing, isn't it?
Kinda.
You know, because they're not just going out in those fields and sitting there.
No,
they're getting something out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Just the same as they are the flats.
Bugs. Guaranteed they eat bugs and then potato fields and grit.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Worms,
right?
maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
but they're going to a dirt field and they're sitting on the flats here.
Yeah.
You know.
And here, after good rain, the geese are more likely to show up early after a good rain, because I'm guessing they're eating worms and whatever bugs are crawling out of them fields.
Mm-hmm. I would love to have a Canada goose biologist on this podcast.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I really would. Like
a bird biologist, period.
A bird biologist, period, and especially somebody that's from this side of the country that works over here.
Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
I have to work into that.
Yeah.
If somebody's listening to this, maybe Woody, get me in touch with somebody. Woody's good about that.
Yeah.
Over there on the island.
Yeah.
Dr. Woody, he's a bird specialist.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's cool. I mean, realistically, when you look at the map, you're pretty much due south of me.
Oh, yeah.
As the crow flies.
Yeah.
But to hunt where I am, in comparison to here, is two completely different animals.
Oh, it's not even the same. It's complete.
And you know, that's what I love about the Maritimes. Like, I've been kind of pushing the culture of waterfowl hunting in the Maritimes on this podcast, or trying to, and I want to talk to you about that specifically here in your area, because you know it. You grew up here, you've lived your whole life here, you work on the water, you've hunted here. Like, you know what it's all about.
Yeah.
But it's so different here in the Maritimes. There's so many, like, literally, again, I say it all the time. I'm like, you could hunt at home where we are in the morning.
Yeah.
And when we're done, say we get done 9:30, we could hook the boat on, rip down to St. Andrews, put in, or Deer Island, put in, and hunt saltwater for sea ducks. It would take us 2.5 hours to get there.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy, the difference. Yeah.
The opportunity here in the Maritimes is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know?
Us, it's all water hunting here, basically.
Yeah.
If you're not hunting water, you're not hunting that much.
Well, and the difference between the species, right?
Yeah.
Like at home, as you know, it's like, 60-40 or, 70-30.
70-30 probably.
Yeah, black ducks to mallards. Now, in 2023, it was, I would say, at least 50-50.
Yeah.
Black ducks to mallards, if not 60-40 at times. There was a big flocks of black ducks, but more often than not, they're very coastal. We haven't seen a mallard here,
No.
have we?
No, not today.
Not today. Not out on the saltwater.
No, you go inland, you'll see them.
You'll see them, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow morning we'll see a couple.
They're just not a saltwater critter, are they?
They're not.
I'm sure that...
You get some, but not. We're mainly like 90-10 black ducks, I'd say, here.
So tell me, and more so the people that are listening to this that don't know you, who you are, how you got started in hunting, and give me a little bit of the history of what you get into growing up hunting here.
My name's Julien Dion. I'm a lobster fisherman and tie layer, I guess, in the summertime by trade. The waterfowl hunting here is completely different. It's all water. We hunt a lot of sea ducks, a lot of scoters, a lot of surfs, a lot of eiders here, black ducks, and the culture here is unreal. Like the Little River duck dog was first bred here, right? Just like 5 minutes from my house, basically. Then that's a huge part of the culture here. Like back in the day, everybody had a toller, and they toll ducks, right? They just go on the shore and they run back and forth, and they sit in the grass and wait for them to come in. Right?
So you're telling me you're talking about a Nova Scotia duck toller?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Little River duck dog is what they were.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what would they do with them?
They just run back and forth on the shore. The dog does, with his tail wagging. And the ducks are drawn to him, right? The ducks will come right in. They toll. They call it a toll. And
a toller.
Yeah. The birds will toll right into the shore, 20 yards. And then you just whistle. Dog goes in behind you, and they open up.
So why would those birds be attracted to that dog?
Because it's like a fox, right? Looks like a fox.
Okay.
And the tail wags. And I've told with Oakley.
Right.
He don't look nothing like a fox.
Right.
He's a friggin' 80-pound black lab.
Right.
Told with him before, right?
So why would they want to come towards a predator?
I couldn't tell you. That I don't know.
Probably because of the nest.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's unreal, like whole flocks of bluebills. They used to do it a lot with bluebills. They worked. Certain ducks toll better than others.
Okay.
Bluebill's definitely one of them.
Right.
They'll toll like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
They see that dog on the shoreline. He looks like a fox. They're worried about their nest.
Yeah.
Their eggs or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they come into the shore and just because they're curious about it. And
Yeah, I think curiosity a lot too, right?
do you know anybody that still does that?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few guys around home still do it. Randy Dortmund, that hunts with us and that comes up with us, has one.
Does he toll with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they still toll with them. They still, around here, still not like, we do it for sport. We eat waterfowl, but we do it for sport, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. Them guys, a lot of these guys that toll and stuff, do it for the meat. They don't care about the sport.
Yeah.
Them guys are there to fill their freezers for the winter, right?
And I feel like here that culture is super strong.
Oh, 100%.
People here are killers. You know, they want to fill their freezer. They're not looking to take pile pictures. They just want to get what they're allowed to shoot.
Yeah.
And get it home.
Yeah.
You know, and eat it.
Even when our clients from here come up to hunt with us in New Brunswick, like when we shoot birds, most of the time we breast the bird, and that's it, right? You breast it, and the rest gets thrown into the coyotes. Like the guys from up home will cut all the thighs out, save the gizzards, save the hearts. Like they're cutting every little bit they can out of it.
Yeah, and
none goes to waste.
After guys like that started coming, like, I don't know, just kind of, like, we almost take it for granted because we have that resource.
Yeah.
And they don't.
No.
I mean, we live very close together, but they don't have that resource. And there is geese here.
Yeah.
But they're not easy to get.
No.
And everybody's chasing them. But they just, when they get an animal, the tradition here is you take everything you can get.
Oh, like they shoot a deer, like heart, liver, none of it goes to waste.
And it's got to be like, that's the Acadian culture, right?
Yeah.
That's the Acadian culture. Like you and as hunters, I mean, we don't want to leave anything to waste.
No.
But certainly here, that's very, very traditional, and they're very true to that and stick to it through the generations. Because, I mean, I remember coming here one time, and one of the neighbors here wanted a goose. So we gave him one, and when we went over there later, he was barbecuing the head.
Oh, yeah.
He had scun out the neck and the head, and he was beak and everything was on it. He just scun it out and laid it on the barbecue.
Yeah. But that's like I said, them old guys would tell me stories, and he's like, I can't believe you guys eat the necks and the heads, right? He's like, when growing up in a home, poor, no money, had 8 siblings.
Yep.
If you had the head, the neck, you were lucky. You know what I mean? At least you got something to eat.
Right.
Right? So it's just totally different.
Yeah, when you went out, that's like when I was in Graham and Ann.
Yeah.
Remember I called you and I was like, I got in that duck blind.
Yeah.
And I saw that the holes were in the front of the blind.
Yeah.
And, I sat back for a minute, and it took me a second to kind of figure out what that was about.
Yeah.
But, realistically, it made sense.
Yeah.
This isn't to film videos or anything like that.
No.
They're in there out of the weather, and when they can line up enough birds, they're going to shoot them off the water.
Yeah. They'll water swat them all day. Like when I started hunting here, and I hunted with a few of the old guys, they couldn't believe I was shooting anything on the wing. Like, you're nuts. First of all, burning shells up.
Right. Let them land and line their heads up and shoot them.
Yep.
Why would you waste ammo? Because, I mean, they, at that time, they would buy singular shells.
Oh, yeah.
If you had a bullet,
yeah,
like, you better come home with some birds. You're not just taking pot shots at stuff.
No. If you take 3, you better bring home 5.
Yeah.
Right. There's no, and it was tough back then, right?
Yeah, a lot of people were hard up here, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was poor way back when.
And oddly enough, like, the poor people had lobster sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Use them fertilizer around here. They just go catch lobster, bring home what they couldn't sell. They'd throw it in the garden, till it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the boys that have come up from here are like, I remember taking lobster sandwiches to school and like hiding them in my book bag.
Be ashamed of it.
Yeah. People make fun of you because you had a friggin' lobster sandwich.
Yeah. Not like that no more.
Not like that no more, brother. That's
If you bring a lobster sandwich to school, you better hide it.
Yeah, you better hide it for the fear of somebody stealing your
beating
lunch.
You up, taking it.
Beating you up and taking it. Damn right, yeah. Having a friggin' $35 lunch, $35 sandwich.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and they used to do like market hunters here too. Put lights on the front of their boats, shoot them, line up a couple, 2-3 shotguns on the front, and sneak up on birds at night. Right, way back when.
Like, what would they use for a boat to do that? Like
a sculling boat.
They'd scull into them.
Yeah.
Would it be so that it wouldn't be motorized? No, they'd just paddle it with their hands.
It had like an oar on the back that you scull back and forth. You just move it back and forth, and it wasn't an oar. It had the thing on the end had give to it, right? So it would kind of work like a fish tail, right? Mm-hmm. And they still do it today. They use ice boats, like it's still going on today. They'll take ice boats, white boats, and they'll just let the boat drive when there's ice out there in the water and the salt. And they'll let the tide take it, and they drift into birds. And when they get close enough, they open up. They still do it today.
Right. Like, you'll see them out there. I remember being here.
Yeah.
And going, what is going on with the white boats?
They'll take a trolling motor. They'll take a trolling motor and troll, like, close to them, right? And then they shut it off, and they just let the current take you. And the current will take you right. Sometimes the boat bumps into the birds. Like, you can get close enough, you can hear the birds bumping off the side of the boat.
Yeah.
Then you lay down in them, right? You lay down flat. The boat's a low-profile boat. Dangerous, though. There's been people died, like drowned in them things, right?
That was going to be my next question. You know, like, the weather is unpredictable here. The tides really rip. I mean, it's obviously no joke. The industry that you work in is extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
One of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Yeah. Certainly top 5.
Oh, yeah.
But when you think about it, like, there must be, maybe not every year, but there must have been a few guys over the years that have maybe got caught out on the flats or sunk their boat or possibly died.
Oh, yeah.
Of your duck hunting.
Me and Lyndon were sitting at Tim Hortons one time, down by the harbor, by Yarmouth Harbor, and there was guys there hunting, and Buddy's dog got caught in the decoys in the tide. Anyhow, we went out there in the rip, tried to save his dog. Guess what? The dog got out on his own, and Buddy never made it back.
Really?
Yeah, he made it, but he had swallowed way too much water. He passed out on the shore and drowned.
Really?
Yeah, his buddies couldn't revive him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's been people that have tipped their boats and haven't come back. Right?
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, when it gets rough, sometimes it turns quick. Right? The weather can change in the blink of an eye and gets dirty.
Is there any days that when you look at the weather here that you're just like, because I mean, most times as hunters we kind of like dirty weather, especially that in the coastal areas, because you can find like a sheltered cove or whatever. Like, is there any type of weather that you're like, no, you don't? Nobody goes out in that in a boat.
Easterlies are bad because they usually show up earlier than what it says it's gonna. And like the other day, we were out lobstering. It was given a beautiful day, all day. There was no sign of any wind on the forecast at all. We went out there, and we're like 40 miles off, so it takes us 8 hours to come out, sometimes 7-8 hours to get to our gear, right? And at the end of the day, it breezed up, and it breezed up bad. It wasn't showing on the forecast anywhere. It took us like 9 hours to get home, and we friggin' beat our guts out the whole way in. Like, it was bad. Everything was falling off out of the shelves, out of the cupboards. It wasn't fun.
So, I mean, obviously you guys are in pretty big rugged boats, but it's a big, big ocean.
Oh, yeah. Well, our boats are 45 feet long, right? 20 feet wide, the one we're on. It's not, compared to them waves, it's not that big of a boat,
no,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. And all the current ripping.
Yeah.
Like I said before, obviously a extremely dangerous industry to work in. You're working long hours, you're tired, unstable surface, people get tired, make one bad mistake, get caught in a trawl, I'm sure there's people nearly every year. I mean, there was that one boat last year that went under.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, lost a few guys, young guys.
Yeah. Oh, every year. Every year in the Nova Scotia, I'm sure someone dies, I'm sure. Lobstermen. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes more.
What's the chances, like, if you were green and you got hooked on in that trawl, that you could get yourself caught?
It depends. It depends if you hit the water, if the trawl gets slack enough for your foot to let go, or if it makes a knot, or, you know, you never know until it happens.
Right.
Right. There's no way of knowing if you can get free or not.
Right.
Don't matter how seasoned you are.
Yeah.
There's no time to cut anything. If
Right.
you're
You're
shooting
getting
trawl
hauled.
off at 8 miles per hour and you get hooked up, guess what? You're going for a ride at 8 miles an hour. There ain't no time to grab a knife and cut anything, right?
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Do you know anybody that's happened to, that they were able to get out of that?
Oh, yeah, there's guys that, every year somebody falls overboard and just gets picked back up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like hooked in a trawl, though?
Nah, sometimes they like pots will, when you're moving gear, you got a lot of lobster pots on the boat. And sometimes if the rope gets tangled up, like 7-8 pots will go at a time.
Right.
And you're in front of them pots, bringing them down.
Right.
Well, guess what? You're going with the pots. So you're just like, I know guys that like went off the end of the boat sitting on top of a pot, basically. Right? The pot hits you, you fall on top of it, and it's going, right?
Yeah. You
And
just jump off it.
Yeah, basically.
Be hard to go back to that job if you went over, wouldn't it?
It would.
It would be tough. If
There's
you had
guys that do
if you had a bad scare,
Yeah.
it'd be tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's guys that can't go no more. Nerves are shot, right? Guys that have gone overboard that can't do it no more. Definitely.
Yeah. Young man's game, you say?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting to the end of her.
Yeah, for sure.
40. But
Yeah.
there's guys that go till they're 60
Is that right?
inside, like, for the most part. That offshore gig that you're out there every day, like, for a long stretch, that's a young man's game for the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, where you're not coming in every night and the weather can get rough and
Yeah. Like you go inside and you leave at 5 a.m. and you're home at supper time, right?
yeah.
But offshore, you leave at midnight and you're staying for 2-3 days, right? It's not the same deal at all. Definitely a young man's game for the like 90% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Time to start laying tile and shooting birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guiding.
Yeah, back away from that.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, you don't want to get yourself to a point where something happens or you get hurt out there and, you know.
Yeah, just that. And you're running on a 6-month season and you're running on weather. So you have no control on when you're going.
Right.
Or especially a guy like me that don't own his own boat. I fish in the stern.
Yeah.
So I've got my boss deciding when we go. I've got the weather deciding when we go and when we don't.
Yeah.
And I've got a season which runs from November, the end of November, right till May. So November, December, January, I'm basically my hunting's cut down quite a bit.
Yeah, and I suppose at this point, especially after guiding up with me,
Yeah.
you'd like to do more of that.
Yeah, I
you'd
would.
like to have more opportunity.
Yeah.
Do you think that you would ever guide down here yourself?
Thinking about it, yeah. Sea ducks.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's a big market for eiders, and there's obviously some eiders in this area.
100%.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, we can get on them, no problem. Especially with a 2-bird limit, right? For a trophy bird like that. Right? You can get on them.
What's the population of eiders like around here?
It's depends on the time of year.
Yeah.
But
in the during the season.
during the season, it's decent.
Yeah.
The later it gets, the more we get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like December's the best time.
Yeah.
All the drakes show up early. There's all kinds of hens, but
And the limit is 2.
it's 2 year round. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a place like Atlantic eiders, where can you hunt them really? Here, the Atlantic provinces here, Maine. Does Coates get any?
No.
No,
Also, did you see that map that I had on there?
I did.
Newfoundland on the western side
Yeah.
has them.
Yeah.
They go into the St. Lawrence River.
Yeah.
A lot of them fly right down over Maine.
Yeah.
To Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Cape Cod, that area. Plenty of them go down around, though.
Yeah.
And then go into the Bay of Fundy and stage in Graham and Ann.
Yeah.
Some around the Wolves.
Yeah.
So there's a super good opportunity here in the Maritimes, certainly Nova Scotia and New Brunswick.
Yeah.
For eiders. And I mean, that's a trophy bird.
It is.
Nowadays. I mean, a lot of people talk about king eiders, but kings are a nice bird. They're small. They're smaller than...
Hey, that's my trophy bird.
Yeah.
King eider and Harley.
Yeah, well, realistically, you could go to Alaska and get one, but there's no reason that you couldn't be able to get one here either.
They shoot some once in a great while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of people shooting them.
Yeah. Basically hens, though, for the most part, around here. They said Cole Harbor had a stud right off the end of the wharf, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
There's, and don't get me wrong, I'd like to shoot a king too.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you, I just love common eiders.
Yeah.
I do, man.
I shot a great big bull New Year's Eve. Me and my wife went out and set up right quick behind the house here, and we ended up getting a nice bull eider. And I'll tell you, it's been a while since I shot one, and it's a nice bird. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wait till you see that footage when we were in Graham and Ann.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Again, if we had Brant here,
Yeah.
outside of Brant on the ocean, like eiders and Brant are just the jam for me. But it's eiders.
Yeah. Surf scoters are cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surfs are good. We got into some surf scoters over there, and we never ever did until we started going to Graham and Ann.
Yeah.
But we also got the ones I like the most out of them are white wings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah, the big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, and they got a good beak on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're pretty.
Yeah.
And we did get into a couple of them, but I like the big ones, eh? But those friggin' eiders, man.
Oh.
When they're coming, and the thing about it is like when you're hunting them, you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
You're just hoping when they fly by, and they're coming in, and they tip towards you, and then they tip away, and they tip towards you, and everybody in the boat's going, oh, and then he tips away, and then all of a sudden just bang, friggin' drop right into the decoys, and man, they're so much fun. Like I'm so glad that we went over there this year. And as far as sea ducks go, again, I understand that people want to go after a king, and Alaska would be an amazing trip.
Oh.
But the amount of days that you have there that are actually calm enough to get out there and maybe get one coming into the decoys would be very few.
Yeah, but you could go hunt Harleys and stuff in the the bays, right?
Definitely.
Which is a bucket list bird too.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, the experience of going out and shooting eider ducks over decoys with them coming into your decoys. Yeah. Like,
it's top notch.
It is absolutely top notch, man.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're not going to get rough days here, but I'm here to tell you, like, both of the days, neither of them were very nice. Yeah. And, like, we did our best to get good footage, but every bird we shot was decoying, hanging over the decoys.
Yeah. There's not too many days here that you couldn't get out. Like, I could set you up on a rock ledge somewhere, even if it wasn't fit to be out there, right? Yeah. But most days you can find a spot to the lee of the islands that you could hunt.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's just like shooting eiders is just unreal. Yeah. And for people that haven't done it and it's a bucket list thing, like, you can do it in Rhode Island, and there's lots of birds there, down around Cape Cod and whatnot. Yeah. I've hunted down there. There is quite a few. But if you've never been to the Maritimes, and you've never experienced the east coast of Canada, if you're going to do it, this would be a good place to do it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
100%. Like we are, what's the term I'm looking for? Just a hidden gem. Yeah. The Maritimes as a whole, like that's what we were saying at the Guide and Outfitter convention there. That It is. It's a hidden gem. Anybody that comes here, look at Sean. Look
Yeah.
at Ramsey Russell. They're like, holy cow, this place is awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they had a great time.
they had a great time.
Yeah.
You know, Sean's been here twice.
Yeah.
Ramsey's like, I'd be there right now if I could.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah. People are great.
the people
Right.
are wonderful. The culture's awesome. There's
Yeah.
so much to see here. Such
Yeah.
a rich history.
Yeah.
That brings up another question I had for you, and I wanted you to tell me about. Like, tell me a little bit about, like, the culture behind waterfowl hunting here. Like, you told me a little bit about how people used to do it when they were kind of doing it for meat.
Yeah.
Strictly meat, like just out there, you know, trying to make a shot count, shooting them off the water, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what are some other ways that would be sort of specific to here that people do that you're not going to see other places?
Well, sneak boats is one, right? Them ice boats, they sneak on them. Tolling's definitely something that they did tons here. But
What about like the tubs and rock
Yeah.
blinds and stuff?
yeah, a lot of rock blinds. Like all the old guys had rock. And you can go, if you go sail around the islands and stuff, you'll find old rock blinds that the guys built. They hunted our rock blinds. They dug holes in the flats, just dug a hole in the flats and sat in it. Right there, only their heads and the end of their shotgun sticking up. And they'd put eelgrass on the flats, right? That it's like eelgrass, like a brown seaweed, and it almost looks like a black duck. Right, if you put it on there, like it's the same color.
So they'd put it in a pile
Yep. Just piles of it. Yep.
to make it look like a bird.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't have to haul decoys and
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
I've hunted over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks real.
And you
I
kill
have
birds,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I have too. It
Yeah.
looks real.
Oh, it's unreal.
As far as a black duck goes, I'm like, geez, you put a whole bunch of them out in the field. They do it in PEI too.
Yeah.
They use them in the fields. I'm like,
Yeah.
they look like birds.
And when they land, they're not afraid of them because just piles of seaweed, right? It's not even like a decoy. Like you get a bird, a decoy shy bird, landing decoys. He's sitting there and he's looking at them and he's like, man, there's something wrong here. You do it, eelgrass. They land there. They're like, oh, clumps of eelgrass.
Yeah.
They'll start eating it, you know, picking around it. Don't bother them at all.
I want some next year. I want you to bring me a truckload.
Yeah.
When you come.
Yeah, we'll set up a whole.
Everybody that comes from here, bring
Yeah.
me seaweed.
Yeah, we'll set up eelgrass.
Sorry, Big Al. I'm getting rid of the black duck silhouettes. I'm going
Eelgrass.
I'm going full on with seaweed.
Yeah, yeah. They used to take a seine, like off a seiner, like net,
Yeah.
and take a decoy and shove seine in there, and like put the eelgrass on the decoy.
Yeah.
because it's better colors than what the decoy is, right?
I've seen it done.
Yep.
Yeah. It's definitely.
Especially mallards around here. It's hard to get a good black duck decoy, or it used to be, like before Avian X and all of them got out. So everyone used to buy mallard decoys or bluebill decoys or whatever they could get, and they fill them full of eelgrass and put net over them to keep that eelgrass in place, and that's how they hunt over.
Yeah.
That was our black duck decoy, right? When I was a kid.
Right.
Nobody made them. And not many, anyhow.
Is there any carvers around here? Like, a lot of guys would have had to make their own decoys way back when.
Oh, yeah.
Is there guys that are still carving here?
Not many anymore. We had a world-class carver here. Richard D'Entremont, his name was. Like, world-class. Went to the Worlds. He was amazing. And he's got a collection at the museum there in Pamlico that's like every species, hen and drake.
No way.
Yeah. It's quite something to see, actually.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's not.
That's too bad.
Yeah, he's not. But amazing decoys. Yeah.
Yeah.
He drowned, actually.
He did?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Lobstering.
Huh.
He had a skiff. He'd go lobstering on his own. Like out of a skiff. Not a big boat. He went inside and he fell overboard. Icy day. They never... I think they got to him, but it's too late.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to make it.
No. And he'd go, like, way back when, he used to go duck hunting and bring decoys with him and carve them while he was duck hunting.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they just go for the day, right? There was
Yeah.
none of this, oh, we'll be done. We'll be limited out by
Yeah.
9:30. Like,
No, there's no limit out
No.
there. If you live it out down here, you're doing good.
Yeah. And maybe at the time the limit was, will it sink the boat if I have that many in there?
Exactly, probably, yeah. Yeah, like I said, them guys were there for meat. They weren't there for sport.
Yeah.
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 So when the going was good, they kept going.
They kept going,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think that could be said for a lot of places, really, at that
really?
time.
Really, yeah.
You know, that's not certainly just here.
I don't even know if there would have been limits way back when. Like way back.
Yeah.
Market 100 days.
Oh, no.
Obviously not
No,
then, right?
no.
No.
Well, it's, when did they do the Migratory Bird Act? In the 20s?
Yeah.
23?
Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you see duck blinds on the marsh here, and I know that I've heard you talk about, like, tubs being out there. What do you mean by that, like tubs?
Tubs is just, they take like a wooden tub, dig a hole in the flats, and they just sink it.
So it's like a pit.
Like a pit, but in
Okay.
the flats.
Okay.
But they used to use like barrels, like just one guy, right? So you'd like mount something to the bottom so it doesn't float out like a big 2x4, and you'd dig a hole and you'd put it in and then bury it all so it doesn't pop out with the tide and with the water coming up. And then in the morning when you show up there, you got to bail it out with bucket, or nowadays they use pumps or whatever. The guys that do still hunt tubs use like a little battery powered sump pump it out, and away you go. Jump in there and you're level with the flats.
And there's an amount of danger there messing around on the flats, too, if you don't know where you're going to, isn't there? If you sink down in the mud,
Yeah,
could go right out of sight, damn near.
probably, but you can crawl out most of the time. 90% of the time you just crawl on your stomach if you get like, there's guys that lose boots and stuff on there for sure getting out. But there's sinkholes. You gotta watch. You gotta know what you're doing a little bit.
For sure.
You just don't want to go run out there. But
No, like that marsh that you drive over to get here, there's probably lots of places a man that could go
yeah.
missing there and get stuck in the mud, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there'd have to be.
yeah, oh yeah, there's holes there. Then ponds, you don't know how deep they are, right?
Yeah, no
Just-
question. You
yeah.
wouldn't be just throwing your waders on and wading out there, would you?
No,
Absolutely not.
no.
So, growing up, like, do you remember when you started? Who got you into it? How that got going?
Yeah, my first duck hunt ever, I was hunting with my old man. My old man bought a property where we're going tomorrow morning, actually.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of mergansers and stuff hanging out there. It's where the river dumps into the lake. So there's obviously all the little fish and stuff run down there. So there's always mergansers at the end there. And Dad asked me if I wanted to go hunting. I was like, yeah, I was always into hunting like deer and partridge and whatever else. So I was like, yeah, let's go. So he took me out and we set up at the end of the river in the boat, made a blind around it. And I don't know how many we got, not many. Probably like 4 or 5 maybe. But I was hooked. And then he had friends that were big into it.
Okay.
So they used to come and get me and bring me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Had decoys and stuff and blinds.
Yeah, like
and-
a nice boat, like with a blind on it. Like
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wendell D'Entremont, his name was. He used to come get me quite a bit. Take me out. And he still goes quite a bit.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah, he has that. He built a layout boat that works awesome. My brother and them just went and got it there. They shot a bunch of birds over it the other day. Big into it. Yeah. And he got me into it a lot.
So when you went out with him, you were always hunting out of a boat
Yeah.
with a boat blind.
With a boat blind. Yeah. Always. There's no guys around here don't hunt fields much. Till I started hunting the fields around here, there wasn't too many guys doing it. I started hunting fields after hunting with you, right?
Right. Going, geez, I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
And there was, by that time, they're starting to get a goose or two in the fields back of Yarmouth, right? So I kind of, like, wasn't much. You get 20 in a field, you had something, right?
Right.
So and I kind of just got into it that way. And now everybody's set up.
Right.
Right. Everybody's got friggin' 20 silhouettes in a A-frame nowadays.
Right.
So it's hard. Gets hard around here because we only have, man, if we have 50 fields in Yarmouth to hunt, that's it. I'm probably saying too much.
Right.
And there's probably 50 guys looking to go.
Right. And, you know, would it be that there would be more than one group in a field at a time sometimes?
They try, but the fields here are too small. right? They might be a guy in the next field over.
Right.
Right. We've run into it a couple times. That guys show up in the same field, but and they're 100 yards long, right? It's not like New Brunswick that they're 60 acres.
Yeah.
Right.
And even still,
it's hard to hunt two guys.
it doesn't happen.
No.
I don't care if it's 200 meters.
Yeah.
200 yards long. You know?
Don't matter.
Yeah. Or 200 acres.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Ain't no need for it.
No, it just
First
doesn't.
come, first serve.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Most generally, when they're there, they're in one spot.
Yeah.
And it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not a marsh. It's a field.
No. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one group of guys.
Oh, yeah.
First come, first serve with permission.
Yeah.
So that, you know, the culture here is more based around duck hunting.
All based around duck hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sea ducks and black ducks.
Yeah.
Not much for mallards.
No.
And when did you really notice, like in high school, you were duck hunting?
Yeah.
So when did you really notice the influx of Canada geese? Did you hunt geese back then? You wanted to.
I wanted to, but there wasn't much around.
Because I met you shortly after.
Yeah.
You graduated what year? 2001?
2001, yeah.
Because I graduated 2002.
Yeah.
And we met like 2 years later.
In PEI, yeah.
PEI, yeah.
Yeah.
You were goose hunting over there.
I was trying to.
Trying to, yeah. And you
never shot a bird.
No, and you put the work in, man.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
5-6 days in.
Yeah.
Never shot a bird.
And I was like,
No.
hey,
Yeah.
we could be friends.
Yeah, we
you and
could.
I hit
Yeah.
it off right away.
Yeah. I drove up there that fall. Matt's like, oh, you should come hunting with me. You never got none here. I was like, man, I don't know this guy from a freaking hole in the ground. But what the hell? He's got geese, he said. We'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Right? He might kill me. Who knows?
Yeah.
But these guys said he had geese, so I'm
Yeah.
willing to take the chance.
Yeah.
Drove up there and hunting together ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a few years now.
And I guess it has.
Yeah. So, you know, really, well, it's been 20 years.
Yeah. Over
20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really in my area, in your area, and the Maritimes in general, and it's good that we're bringing this up because it's been the topic of discussion that there's more birds here now. I've seen it on some of the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Right. And there is
Yeah.
more birds here now. So when you were like in high school, you know, in between that time and like the age of 25, like was there much for geese around? Would you shoot many?
Wouldn't shoot any. Like,
Did
if
you
you
hunt?
got two.
Did you hunt fields?
I did. I started, but like, there's no amounts. Like I said, if you could find 20 geese in a field, you had something. Like, I was all over it the next morning.
Right.
Now, if I see 20 geese in a field, I'm like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother for that.
Right.
It's got to be 100. And still, 100 geese in a field in Yarmouth is quite a bit.
Yep.
200. You've got a damn good field. You've got 200.
Yeah. So what's your so now
Yeah.
at this point there's a lot more geese here.
A lot more. Definitely.
And what do you think's causing that?
I couldn't tell you. Just
Like, do you have a theory?
I don't. It's just resident geese are just blowing up. Most of our geese, for the most part, are residents, right? Because right now, everything that's here is just migrating through. They're not stopping here. They're stopping here for a day or two, and then they keep going, right?
But some of them are they're migrating through, but they're staying here. They get here and they don't go back.
No, not the last group, like the last bunch, but the ones that are showing up now will stay here till the end of March.
So my theory on this is why we've had the big influx, because it's the same in my area, same in PEI.
Yeah.
And it's the same in the States. I mean, look at them all complaining about how look at that Missouri River right now.
Yeah.
It's-
Plugged.
Yeah, you could walk across their backs and never touch the water. The ducks there.
Yeah.
It's corn.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the corn industry.
But there's no corn here, though.
No, not here,
Yeah.
but there is in like
In Brunswick and PEI.
or in Shuby
Yeah.
and Churro.
Churro. Yeah.
And you know those areas. Like, where's the other area that's close to there?
The valley, Annapolis Valley.
In the valley.
Yeah.
So Shuby and Truro and the Annapolis Valley, like, there's more corn there all the time.
Yeah.
And look, the season got extended and the boys were just slamming them.
Yeah.
Now,
Because it never froze up.
Yeah,
Usually they're froze up.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually they're froze up, but where would those birds go?
Here.
Right.
Or through here and keep going.
Right. So I personally believe that's why
Oh, corn is king.
corn is king. So if they're coming to those areas, and normally they would migrate and go down through here,
Yeah.
you're going to have to get more birds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So over time, everybody's going to have more.
But I'd say the flight path changed as a whole, too, I'd say.
How so?
Just the different birds we get here. Like birds from Greenland, snows. We got snows here every year now.
Yep.
Never used to have them. Where are these birds coming from?
Yeah. No, I don't disagree.
Net-collared geese.
There has to be a reason for that.
Yeah. Then they're not coming from Greenland for the corn. You know what I mean? It's a long way to come.
Well, they have to go. I think personally, we've always had Greenland geese here.
Yeah.
The thing we haven't had that I know of is geese from Sweden,
Yeah.
places like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of those neck collars that came through this year were definitely from like Denmark.
Yeah.
All
I'll
those.
have to ask Steve. Steve and them shot a net collar.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him.
And they're coming through more and more every year. But when they're coming over here again, like in my specific area, I truly believe
It's corn.
that I know that there's guys that hunt a lot that are on the island
Yeah.
that would agree with me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100% is a factor. But I'd say the migratory paths change some too. The weather, global warming, whatever they want to call it.
There's no question that they have, and I believe that a strong reasoning for that would be, come this way, there's more corn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Think about it. Birds land in a field for the first time.
Yeah.
There's lots of corn there. Other birds are going to a different area.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the next day, there's 4 groups.
Yeah.
The next day, there's 15 groups. Then there's 50 groups in that field. They're all concentrated there because there's corn there.
Yeah.
So over the years, if this year there's 2 dairy farms at home
Yeah.
or here,
Yeah.
and they have corn, and then next year a new farm starts up and he grows 200 acres of corn. Well, holy shit, all of a sudden there's 200 acres of corn there.
Yeah.
That's maybe getting chiseled, maybe not.
Yeah.
Over time,
Geese.
the birds are going to go there. The corn is king.
Oh.
You see that in the States, boys. It's proven.
You see it when we're hunting up your way.
Why would they migrate? Why would they move when what they need to survive is there in plenty?
In front of them. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
If they've got food and water,
Yeah.
why would they go?
Oh, yeah.
Some are going to go anyway because it's just naturally what they do.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, in my area, there's a lot that aren't going south.
No.
They're not going to make it.
No, as long as they've got fresh water and
Yep.
corn, why would they?
And not because we killed them.
No.
Because we didn't.
Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah.
But they're not going to go anywhere. And I guarantee if we called David Martin right now, he would say the same thing. We're stacked up. He's on the eastern side of the province. If we called Paul McKinnon, I bet, or Walt's down south, but like Walt and Blair, I'm sure they could find birds on the island. I'm sure there's still Point View Outfitters. Josh Lee, I bet he's got all kinds of geese over there.
They set up Truro Shuby. They're starting to lose them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, eventually maybe you would with snow or whatever, or some would go.
Yeah.
But they're there.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
They're showing up there.
Yeah.
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 as a whole, corn is not a thing that's going out of style.
No.
No.
Well, they farm the ducks out in the States there with them big farms.
Yeah, it's a topic of discussion.
Yeah.
As to why we have more. There's lots of factors. I know there is.
Yeah.
But you think about it. In my area, when you first started coming, there wasn't even close to as much corn as there is now.
No, all potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
All potatoes.
Give that 20 years,
Yeah.
and this farmer and that farmer and that farmer, all of a sudden that's a main stake in their rotation.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you know,
We just got to get Robert Oakes to plant a little bit more. That's what we need to do.
well, we should take the initiative and we should look after that program for him this year.
Yep. I think we should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll go run a combine or whatever I need to do.
We'll subcontract.
Yep.
East Coast Waterfowl Mafia Farms.
Yep. Yeah, we'll just do what did Hunter Lawson do for a job? Land management.
Yeah.
Yep. For deer food plots. We'll just do the same for geese.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how we'd hold water in the mountains, but
Build reservoirs.
yeah, we'd have to.
Yeah.
There's no flat spot here.
No.
We'd have to dig a hole somewhere, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, we'll make it happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pool. We'll just put lumpy great big liner.
Corn is king. Corn is king. That's my theory on a lot of that, is that they're here and they're coming more and more. Sure, because of maybe things are warming up. Who's to say? But my total 100% belief is that they are going to go where the food is. Migration routes are going to change because of loss of food or gain of food or pressure or all kinds of different things. But if they're coming through and there's fields aplenty to go to right along their migration route, shit.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Over time, things are going to change.
Yeah.
If you're flying down through, we'll say, the Central Flyway, and you know, or the Mississippi Flyway, and you know that there's, you know, these big, what do they call those? Not
Dikes.
Reservoirs
Yeah.
isn't the word that I'm looking for, but where the birds are protected. Good Lord.
Sanctuary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Good Lord, I couldn't think of that. Yeah, where there's these big sanctuaries down there, huge sanctuaries.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, there's 3 or 4 of them in a row, hundreds of acres. And then you've got all these impoundments,
Yeah.
like hundreds of acres of flooded corn around them, and they're farming them like, you know, holding ducks, and ducks aren't, you know, why are they going to leave?
They wouldn't.
Hey, you can have this field, we're not going to shoot it. You can just keep coming to that, and as long as you're in the area, that's good. I mean, you know, that they're not going to go anywhere.
No, they wouldn't. Why would they?
Why would they? So I think that's, I don't know. I can't see things changing that way.
No. Have you looked at the Delta Waterfowl magazines where it shows the maps, like of the breeding, like on Delta Waterfowl every year you look at the map and it shows breeding success or breeding, like how would I say this, like just the what they think is gonna, like, good habitat for breeding, like what the
the habitat surveys,
Yeah.
water surveys,
yeah, like it shows like, oh, great, good, like the Maritimes for the last 5-6 years showed like great breeding.
We're always that way.
Yeah,
Because this side of the country doesn't have to depend on rain.
yeah,
It's boreal forest.
yeah,
It's wet, boggy.
yeah.
You know.
So I'm wondering if we're getting good numbers of hatch too. Right?
Oh, guaranteed. I mean, you have
Yeah.
to have the birds,
Yeah.
but they don't have to come this way.
No, they don't. No.
We're definitely having good hatches.
Yeah.
Their success rate, I think sometimes they're having 2 clutches.
Like our residents. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But you got to have the feed there,
Yeah.
or they'll just blow by.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, look east of me. What's there? Nothing.
Nothing.
Woods.
Yeah.
West of me, same
Woods.
thing.
Yeah.
Not very far in
No.
the woods.
Yeah.
Center of Maine, right?
Yeah.
Why would they come over my way? They don't have
Yeah.
to.
No. That's definitely corn.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but you know, realistically, things have definitely changed. I mean, for you growing up, there wasn't many geese around here.
No.
Now, field hunting is a thing
Yeah.
here in Yarmouth.
Yeah.
And I always say to you, I'm like, if you guys had, I know that there is some corn around here, and the birds don't really go into it, but if you added a field every year, if you took all the fields you have here, and they said, look, there's money in corn,
Yeah.
we're going to plant all these in corn,
Yeah.
things would change.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah.
things would change.
We don't have, our farming is, you got 2 dairy farms that are very, very small.
Yeah.
And they just don't have, we don't have the land
Yeah.
to plant, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Even if you planted these fields in corn, they're like friggin' half a acre fields, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's not a field that I can hunt that I can't shoot straight across.
Yeah. No, but I mean like in general.
Yeah.
Like if you were to do that,
100%.
things would change.
Oh, for sure.
Over time.
Oh yeah.
Over time
Wouldn't
it
even
would.
take that much time probably.
Yeah.
A couple of years you'd see a difference.
You would see a difference here, yeah.
Yeah.
You would have a lot more birds going to fields. There'd be a lot more field hunting here.
Yeah.
And hard to say, maybe that'll be a thing in the future. There's some decent sized fields here.
Yeah. No, nothing huge though.
Nothing like home,
No,
but
no.
you
Yeah.
know, for a place that isn't an ag place.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You guys work on the water. It's all about fisheries.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's only a couple of farms at best. I bet you there's only 1, 2, 3 farms on the go here now. That's it. 4.
Yeah.
4.
but there's a lot of hunters here, man.
More hunters than there is birds.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like it's
The pressure's
unreal.
unreal.
It is unreal. For it, as far as a place that's really concentrated and really hunter dense,
Yeah.
like the amount of guys that are out trying to shoot birds here and the amount of enforcement that you guys have here
Yeah.
is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like we don't see federal enforcement maybe once a year.
Oh yeah. They're down here this time of
Because
year.
I mean we're so spread out, but out here
Yeah.
everybody's hunting.
And everyone's hunting the same area.
Yeah.
Because this time of year, what happens? January, let's say, everybody, the fishing slows down. So nobody has anything to do, right? People are going out once a week because of the weather and because of the lobsters aren't moving because it's cold, right?
Right.
Guys are going out lobstering once a week.
Yeah.
The birds are all in the salt because everything's froze up. All the lakes are froze up. So all the birds are concentrated in one area. Like whatever marsh there is or whatever, you know, all in the small area. There's guys driving an hour and a half to get down here to chase the 20 birds that are on that marsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it today and you
Yeah.
were like, tomorrow when you can hunt,
Yeah.
there'll probably be 20 trucks here.
Yeah. Well, no question.
Just
I
like-
guarantee when we leave here in the morning to go hunting, you'll meet trucks with boats on them. The last 3 days, people are going to go nuts.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well,
They're not going to miss it. And
no.
especially, you know, with your extended season, I know a lot of people are really happy that finally you got some time added on to the end because that's what you've always wanted, right?
Yeah, but usually we got more birds. We lost some. Usually, like when it ends the 15th is when we usually, like, if it would have ended the 15th, all our birds were still here.
Right.
We lost them since then.
Yeah.
We did. But there'll be new ones coming in, I'm sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite way to hunt here? Here.
I like sea ducking, probably. Sea ducking out of a boat, probably my favorite way. Get a lot of shooting. Always a lot of shooting sea duck hunting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can burn 10 shells on one cripple, you know.
Yeah.
There's no shortage of shooting. But I like water hunting too. Any kind of hunting blinds on the water, lakes. Right.
Yeah.
I like hunting where there's not 20 other guys there.
Right.
That's my favorite way of hunting.
And there is a lot of water here, like a
Oh.
lot of opportunity
Yeah.
for water. Small lakes, salt water, marshes,
Yeah.
like tidal marshes, freshwater marshes.
Oh yeah. All kinds. But the ducks are all in certain spots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just everybody's after them. Sea ducking, there's not. Years ago, there used to be more guys sea ducking than there is now.
Right.
Sea ducking's kind of, I don't know, seems that people don't do it as much. The ducks definitely don't taste as good.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think it is that guys are after the puddlers more now?
There's more. Well, I say there's more. Like the guys told me years ago, like that the harbors would fill up with black ducks. Guys would come from Maine here to shoot black ducks. But the guys like years ago, this was an island, basically. So the guys didn't get to go inland. So people sea duck hunted because you lived on the water, right?
Right.
You lived on the sea. You were sea duck hunting a lot, right? Now everybody kind of just, everybody jumps in their truck and goes wherever.
Right. It's far,
different,
far
right.
more accessible.
Yeah.
The gear's
Definitely.
gotten better.
Yeah.
Can get more places.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And that makes it probably harder for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people used to hunt off the shore, sea duck hunting. Used to sit out on a rock ledge. And if the tide was blowing towards the shore, they'd go hunting, right? Shoot a sea duck. They'd wait for him to fly across. They'd shoot him, and the wind would push him on shore. And,
They go pick them up.
yep. Or row a boat out there, right? It's the only way to go. Way back then.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys did. Like Cape Island, for example. Everybody sea duck hunts there.
Cape Sable Island?
Yep.
Okay.
They wouldn't shoot a mallard if it flew in front of them. A lot of them.
What is it, a ferry out there?
No, it's a causeway now.
Do they have a causeway?
Yeah. But sea ducking's huge there.
Right.
Like a huge, yeah, it's part of their culture.
Mm.
Coots, they call them. They shoot scoters. They call them coots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, like some of them, they wouldn't shoot old squaws. Wouldn't shoot them.
No?
Wouldn't shoot eiders for the most part. Some of them. Just after scoters, that's it.
That's the ones they want to eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all about eating, right?
Yeah. It's what they grew up on.
Yeah.
Don't know any different.
No.
Never ate a grain-fed duck.
No. Sea duck stew. It's what they eat. And they can cook it good. They've got a good recipe there, too.
I bet they do.
I've had some before. It's good.
Well, when you grow up eating and living on the ocean,
You learn how to cook it.
well, and that's the way everything tastes.
Yeah.
Right? You're used to it.
Yeah.
Like, whereas it's so different where I am.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we don't have those ducks.
No.
All our
It'd be
bird-
like you eating a merganser.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 And you wouldn't eat them. So.
No, I would never defy a merganser by eating it.
No.
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 Such a
They're-
majestic bird.
Yeah.
The
Top notch.
The common merganser is extremely underrated.
Oh, when
A big Drake common merganser like I got here last time.
that was a trophy.
Tall as
I'm surprised it's not on your wall.
right next to an eagle. You know what I mean? In being majestic, right?
Yeah. Oh.
What's more majestic than a common eider?
Nothing.
Or sorry, a common merganser.
Nothing.
Common lizard.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say.
No.
No.
No,
Right
I
up
mean-
there with a spoonie.
Well, geez, yeah.
Right.
He must have been 3 feet tall on the hoof.
Oh, yeah, that was a big bird.
Yeah, he was.
It was.
was a
That
big
shot was an amazing shot, actually. That thing come from the heavens.
I couldn't
Crushed it.
I couldn't let him go, man.
Crushed it. Oh, it was awesome.
I love a good merganser. I
Yeah.
wish we had more home.
You might see one tomorrow morning.
Oh.
Who knows?
Well, yeah, we're back in
Who
that
knows?
place, aren't we?
We're back at that
I was
same
looking
spot.
at that picture when I was doing my presentation up for the United Guides and Outfitters convention there. I was going back through and I was looking at old pictures and I saw that one.
Oh, yeah, the one you holding it up on the
Holding
bank.
it up,
Yeah.
yeah. God, that was a good day.
It was, yeah. Yeah. Forgot the decoys. Showed up. We were supposed to change the trucks. We jumped in a different truck. Forgot the decoys in the truck.
I love being guided because I'm always the guide.
Yeah.
And show up and I'm like, man, I've literally never forgotten the decoys, boys. That's probably the most amateur thing you could do.
It was awesome.
We laughed about it.
And we still killed birds.
And we still killed birds, yeah. Hey, that's the only bird I needed to kill right there.
The rest of them didn't even matter.
Yeah. I don't know where he was heading, but he was getting there fast and high.
Yeah. He was moving.
I had to walk 100 yards to pick him up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man, he crushed it.
Yeah, that was a good day. We've had some good times hunting, man.
Oh, yeah.
Over the years.
Oh.
My God, I wish we could remember all the stories.
Oh, man. There's been some crazy ones.
You know, and that brings up a good point of, like, we got the camera sitting here on the table. I mean, all that footage we took today,
Yeah.
those are things that are going to be documented now. And
Yeah.
all the hunts that we have on YouTube and stuff, and all the footage that we haven't even brought out yet, like
No.
hours and hours and hours of footage
Yeah.
that's not been edited
Yeah.
yet,
Oh, it's crazy.
like, are all going to be good memories. And
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of times guys just want to show up and shoot, but at the end of the day, man, is it ever nice to have that footage,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And it's not even about the shooting anymore. Like, I guide for the month of October. We both do.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I couldn't care less if I shot anything.
Lots of times, man, like, where were we When Tony and his son Connor were up and they were shooting their birds, and they were getting pretty close to their limit, and Connor's like, "Are you going to get your gun out?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Man, I'm gonna, yeah. Like I'm gonna."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just really enjoying watching you guys do it, because they've had a terrible year, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just am really enjoying running my dog and watching you guys do it and calling them in, and
Yeah. Yeah, to me, it's all the same, right? Like the other day, we had a field, and the farmer's son asked if he could come and bring a couple guys. I was like, yeah, sure, man. Why not? So he brought the guys with him, and I had just as much fun seeing the excitement on them guys' faces than if I would have shot myself.
Well,
I didn't shoot one volley. I was just like, it's fine. Like, I don't care. I don't have to shoot every time.
To me, like, obviously I enjoy all the other parts, the calling, the dogs, the setup, the blind, the scouting, all of that stuff. When I did that seminar, I just keep referencing that because I just did it yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm talking about strategies for all these things, but every part and piece of what I even just mentioned right there is a whole 2-hour talk in itself.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And
That's the longevity.
Yeah.
If you're a waterfowl hunter, like a true waterfowl hunter, like, don't get me wrong, I love shooting them.
Oh.
I brought a gun. I'm here to shoot.
Oh, yeah, we're going to kill stuff.
But, I'm going to really enjoy being out there and hanging out with you guys.
100%.
Going to that show. I enjoyed seeing all the people that I haven't seen in a long time that I know and love.
It's kind of like the sporting clay shoots we go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great to shoot, but it's just as much fun to see everybody that you haven't seen and just hanging out. And
It's the truth, man. I mean, we all know, like, social media has made us antisocial. Like, we're twice as busy as we need to be now.
Yeah.
And we don't gather as much as we should. And I mean, for us, we're a long ways apart, and we spend more time together now than we ever have, because we're guiding together.
Yeah.
But, for the most part, like, man, that's what waterfowl hunting's about. It's it's a community sport.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, we're in the blind, cutting up, having a good time, laughing and joking with each other. And realistically, all of your very best friends you've met through waterfowl hunting.
No question.
And they're hunters.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Lyndon,
hunters.
Chad.
Yeah.
You, Ryan.
Yeah.
Just all waterfowl hunters.
100%.
Yeah. We just like the same thing, right? Everything, just same people.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a cult following.
Yeah.
It's what you do. It's who you are. It's your whole identity.
Yeah.
It's not just something that we do or think about when September comes.
No.
Oh, geez, you've been thinking about duck hunting? Yeah, actually, I've been thinking about it all year.
Yeah.
Every day.
You haven't stopped.
All day long.
Yeah.
That's what I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, for me, the calling contests, the sporting clay shoots, the field trials, the hunt tests with my dogs, that's a way for me to keep that going all year long.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's call company.
Yeah, exactly.
Another way to keep it going.
Exactly. East Coast calls.
The further we get into it, right?
Being call makers, which we should talk about that, actually. East Coast Calls is our call company. We make acrylic duck and goose calls. And I know that we've mentioned it in the past, but this year we've already put a lot more time into it than we have been.
Yeah.
We're just in a better spot in our lives now to really push that a little farther. So.
For sure. Yeah. Me, you, and Ryan.
Yeah, and I know that we all have a really big passion for that side of things and want to make a quality product, and that's what we're going to make. I mean, I said to you here tonight, I'm like, I haven't bought a duck or goose call in quite some time, and I'm here to tell you, when I got online and was looking at what they cost now,
it's crazy.
I'm like, whoa, holy
crazy
shit, I cannot. They've doubled in price.
Oh, yeah. I bet you it's like $220 for a duck call acrylic now, and probably $250 for a goose call.
U.S.
Yeah, U.S. Yeah,
U.S.
It's insane.
It is.
But the price of materials gone up. Even our costs. Like, I was talking to Guy, the acrylic guy and stuff the other day. It's gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Our prices are still good though, still reasonable.
Oh, geez, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, absolutely.
$150 for a duck, for a goose calls.
Yeah.
Duck calls, good price.
Absolutely.
At this point.
Yeah. So, if you don't follow our page, East Coast Calls, check it out. We're pretty active on there right now, and we'll have more throughout the year. Yeah, we got some big things coming up. I'm not going to let any cats out of the bags just yet.
No.
But we got some big things coming up this year, some exciting things. So stick close to that page. If you own an East Coast Call, because Glenn Gillespie owned it before.
He did.
Made calls. If you have one and you have any pictures with your call,
send them
in.
Yeah.
We'll post them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got to, obviously it started here. It's going to stay here.
Yeah. Maritime Call Company.
Yeah. And we're not looking to sell hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these, the big box stores every year. No. They're all going to come from us. I mean, we're learning as we go. We're going to have growing pains here and there. Nobody's perfect.
No.
But if you have one, your feedback is much appreciated. There's always kinks that you got to work out. So we're just trying to make the best quality product and
for
call
the best price. Yeah.
For the best price that we can make, and we want people to use our stuff, and we want to treat people good. So
yeah,
it's important. It's important to us.
Yeah. If you need one retuned, get a hold of us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take care of you.
Yeah, for sure. So keep an eye on that page. If you don't follow it, head on over there. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. We got probably 4 or 5 posts a week there now.
Yeah.
3 to 5 posts a week on there.
It's good. And we're going to try to get more. We're going to try to keep it more active.
Yep, exactly. So, yeah, and we got some other things coming.
Yep.
I won't say what they are right now, but just keep an eye on that page.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see as we go along, but you got to be watching.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Anything else, brother?
Not really.
It's been a great talk. We could keep talking, but
we could. But yeah,
we're getting there. We're over an hour.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we gotta start getting gear ready.
Yeah.
We are going out in the morning.
Absolutely. I can't wait. Maybe we'll do another one of these if we get a chance before I go. Talk about some of the hunts that we've been on while I'm here.
Why not? Or our fall as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Yeah.
So.
Sounds good, brother.
Anyway, thanks for listening, folks. Appreciate everybody that listens to this. If you're on social media, certainly go to the Facebook page and the Instagram page. Like and follow, and wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts or Spotify, whatever, if you could rate and review this show, that would mean a lot to us, because that moves us up in the numbers. So really, really appreciate that. Just rate and review it wherever you are, and subscribe. That'd be great. Appreciate all your support.
Awesome.
Thanks for being on, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get out hunting in the morning.
Sounds good. Let's get out of there.